Hi, I'm Jo, I'm a physio and I'm also a Pilates instructor, and today we're going to go through a little glute burner. So if you want to be working on your glutes but want to do it lying down, then these are the exercises for you. So let's get started. We're going to lie down on our side, shockingly. Get your hip back towards the back edge of that mat. Lying down, pop something underneath your head to support, or just use your arm if you want to. We're going to go knees locked together, ankles locked together, and then we're rolling that hip forwards so that top leg is slightly in front of that bottom leg when we are doing this. We're going to start off with a side kick exercise when we are doing this. What I want you to think about before we start is thinking about ribs drawn gently down in towards your stomach. So if there was a little spring between the bottom of your ribs and the top of your hips, you're gently tightening that spring a little bit, and also thinking about pushing that top hip away. So there can be a little bit of a gap underneath the side just here when we're doing these exercises. First one that we're going to do is a side kick. So hovering that top leg up so your legs are hip width apart. So like if you were standing up where your legs would be sitting. Keep your knee at 90 degrees, and then we're going to march that top leg forwards and then back down again. March it forwards and back down again. The thing I'm really thinking about when I'm doing this exercise is keeping that top leg as parallel to that floor as possible. So imagining that if we had a short coffee table in front of us and we were trying to clean the surface of it with our leg, we're just sweeping backwards and forwards over that coffee table. The other thing we need to be mindful of is that we're not rocking back with our hip at all as we're exercising. It's keep that hip drawn forward, belly button angled slightly down towards the ground when we're doing it. And do 2 more of these. 2 and 1. And then we're going to pause right at the top there. Keep holding that leg, keep hovering that leg. We're going to extend our knee out and then kick it back in. Extend that knee out and kick it back in. We're going to do 10 of these in total. That's 3. So thighs staying completely still as we're doing it. It's just that knee bending in and bending out. And the hard part about this is we're holding that hopper position as we're going. 7, 8, 9, and 10. And we're going to keep it in a straight leg. We're going to ankle our big toe up towards the ceiling slightly, but making sure our hips are still rolled forward when we're doing it. And now we're going to do a side kick with a straight leg. So exactly the same movement that we were doing before. Our legs still parallel towards the ground. Still keeping that hover, but it should be getting harder now. You should feel that top glute in particular starting to burn, but it's also quite normal to feel that bottom leg working a little bit as well. What we're doing is gently pressing that bottom leg into the ground to help stabilize our pelvis when we're doing these exercises. All right, we've got 3 more to go. 3, 2, keep them nice and smooth, trying to not let that leg drop down at all or float too high up into the towards the ceiling. All right, we're going to pause at about 45 degrees. So leg down towards the corner of our mat. Again, big toe angled up towards the ceiling. We're going to lift that leg up and back down. I don't have great hip flexibility, so I don't get a lot of movement with this exercise. You might be way higher than what I am doing, but work within your own limits. And again, big thing about this one is try not to let that hip roll backwards as we're going. We're keeping rolled forward, belly button still angled down towards the ground as we're coming up and down. All right, 4, 3, 2, last one, and then we get a rest. 1, leg comes down, drop it forward, hit it out, and then we're going to come on to the other side. So I'm swapping sides of the mat, just so I'm still facing forward for you guys, but by all means just roll over when we're doing this. So same thing, bum towards the back edge of the mat, something underneath your head to support. Knees together, ankles together, push that top hip away, rib cage in slightly, and then making sure we're rolled forward a little bit. So again, belly button angled down towards where the ground is. First one that we did was our side kick with our bent knee. So hovering those two legs up, nice and parallel with the floor, and then we start our marches. Doesn't really matter what you're doing with your ankle in these exercises. Do what feels good for you, what comes naturally. For me, I like to flex my ankle. Feels more like a stronger march, but it really does not matter what we're doing. 4 more. 4, 3, 2, last one. And 1, we're going to pause at the top there. Thigh still stays parallel with the ground. Straighten that knee out, and then we're bending that knee. Straighten and bend. The only thing that's moving here now is our knee. Thigh stays completely still as we're coming in and out, but we're still working really hard in that top glute to keep that leg hovering off the ground when we're doing this exercise. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Keep it straight. Now we're doing our side kick with a straight leg. Again, with this one, if you can, angle your leg outwards slightly, so big toe up towards the ceiling or kneecap up towards the ceiling. We just don't want to overdo that twist and end up rocking back through our sides. So making sure, number 1, body is in the right position, and number 2, if you can, twist that leg a little bit to make your glute work that little bit harder and get more out of the exercises that you are doing. 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Come back to about 45 degrees. So again, my legs in line with kind of that corner of my mat here. Angle my leg out. Oh God, I think my range is even worse on this side. And then we're going to pop up and down with that leg for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop it back down, hit out that glute. And that's a really simple set of exercises to do inside lying, so no standing up for our glutes. Doesn't include any clams, which we're all very used to doing. But you can give those ones a go. If you want to redo that exercise set again, I'd recommend doing it 2 to 3 times, but up to you. Let me know how they go. See ya.